This might be the biggest sounding tiny speakers I have ever heard. Audio-Technica SP3X. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Project Beats. My name is Joven. I'm a studio guy reviewing music gear, music tech gear. If you'd like to support the channel, do me a solid by hitting like, subscribe, and comment down below. Really helps the channel out. Okay, so the SP3X, I first heard this bookshelf tiny speaker in the Audio-Technica headquarters. It was so small, but on that demo hall, this tiny speaker filled that room. And I was really surprised how well it sounded. It sounds really good. It has some punchy deep lows, especially for this size. I thought this could easily compete with 4 to 5 inch monitors, so I thought I needed to try this in the studio. Big thanks to Audio-Technica for sending the SP3X for review. Not sponsored or anything. This white one is online exclusive if I'm not wrong. I really like this white version. I think it complements the desk setup I have going on. Right, so before I tell you about how good this sounds, I thought I'd ask a couple of my friends to demo it. You guys are probably tired of my face anyway. So yeah, here's what they have to say about this speaker. I did not tell them anything prior to them auditioning this speaker, so this is purely their thoughts and their thoughts alone.
Okay, so for the Audio-Technica SP3X, I mostly work with orchestral music, choral music, listening to them, arranging for choirs and ensembles. So what I find with the Audio-Technica SP3X, listening to it with a lot of vocal music, it has more in-your-face vocals. I'm just imagining around 4K to 8K, so it brings the voices really in your face, which is very beneficial for me because I do a lot of vocals, choirs, and all those things, and I know that a lot of like orchestral music would have music and instruments around that range, so it's really clear and really crisp for me. And listening to it also with music like alternative, like even tracks with a lot of drums, I hear a lot of the, I'm just assuming somewhere between 8-11K above, which makes the hi-hats crash much more pronounced, but not too pronounced. It doesn't bleed your ears. And I was listening to the speakers with a lot of Jacob Collier as well. The bass is present. In fact, when we started listening to some tracks, I thought it was the big speakers here that was on, but it was the small speakers actually that was on. So it packs a big sound for a small amount of space. So I think it's perfect for a lot of musicians who have small space in their studio. And I know it's assigned to be a bookshelf speaker, but there's just so much power in it. And as I said earlier, the vocals are very clear, so it's very beneficial for not just music enthusiasts, but those who also do music professionally. Very wide stereo field too. Well, depends on the track, but I find that to be really enjoyable because it's so small, it's unassuming, but just sit in front of it. It also has a wide sweet spot. It's really enjoyable to listen to, and it's a very good addition to your studio, or if you just want speakers at home playing high fidelity music. It's really nice. It's really nice. But if you really also want it to be like a studio monitor, it can also function as that too, which is really nice because it's so small. I would love something like this. It's also white. Also looks nice too. has a big punch to it.
For its size, it's very pleasing to the ears for what it is. Compared it with Kali, the mid-range, the liveliness comes out on this small SP3X. For me, it has a little, I'd say a bit of EQ. So if you're listening close to the speaker, you can still feel some low end that you will hear if you're close to it. But in terms of missing it, no. And it's loud.
It's loud.
It's loud. Yeah, like what you said earlier. Sometimes I don't know whether I'm listening to Kali or this. Only until if I hear the low end of the music where I notice, oh, I'm listening to Kali. But most of the time, you won't notice whether you're listening to Kali or this. Although, I mean, listening for quite a long time, I can hear the difference in the mid-range. This one has, I think it's more open sound than a studio. Yeah. Application. I have a turntable at home and I'm itching to try it out or maybe bring my turntable here. The listening space is also is an issue. If you have a bigger room, I'm not sure the speaker will respond differently. And also I think it's more of where you place it. Yeah. How you place it, and where you are in the listening space. Yeah, I think intimate listening. My speakers at home is as big as this, although that one is more for music listening. Comparing to speakers where I used to listen to when we were young. Oh, yeah. This size won't give us good sound. Oh yeah, I recently tried D3V. Before trying this, I keep watching YouTube videos. But I'm sorry, but I think it's not for me. Although a lot of YouTubers, they praise this speaker a lot. Yeah. If I don't have any reference or if I wasn't able to try, I will just be disappointed. The spec sounds promising. They could still improve the technology, which costs how much? 500 Singapore dollar versus this speaker. I would definitely choose this, not because of the price, but also the performance. D3V, there's a low end, but it doesn't complement to what you are listening to. Well, just for me. Okay. It's a bit detached. I know there is, definitely, but you're missing some of the highs and a bit of the mids from my recollection. For my references, my listening references, it's slightly a bit, deep. Yeah, I tried one Genelec. Forgot what model is that. Initially, I was just looking at the small speakers. I tried the Genelec. It was okay as a computer speaker. Sorry. I ended up with Focal Shape 40 for the reason that it looks nice. I got it for a good price, half the price that they sell it for in Singapore. Budget-wise, I'd still prefer this. That one is, I guess, more details in the highs. Yeah. Of course, it has a bit more low because of its passive radiator. I think that's it. But to tell you, that Focal, the sound of the lows is still a bit artificial. You lack the air. You lack that air and space of the low end. It's just there. It's present. Right. As a reference or as a studio monitor, it's more practical in a sense because it's small and at least you have that details when you need it.
I mean, full range, right? You get the lows. The high frequency first, there's no harshness, right? Like super is flat, and then the directionality, the dispersion, also yung phase is very clear. So that's why you get confused if it's from the big speaker or that one. Yeah. And the low frequency, full range, there's a very good low extension, and there's very low noise if ever there is. I can't hear any noise, which is because I have a tannoy that's a 4-inch.
It's a little bit of self noise. I know the tannoys.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, and sometimes it adds to fatigue when you're listening for a long time. But especially for the form factor, the footprint that it takes on a desk. That's why if you're doing stereo mixes, you can definitely
use this in a headphone. I guess you're set, right?
Yeah. You can even check low frequency. Information with it because it goes that low. But if you want like some EDM, you can add the sub. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can add the sub.
Right. If that's necessary. Pero as it is, it's good now.
It's good, right?
And it looks good too. Like the finish, quality. Audio-Technica. I have a lot of Audio-Technica mics. white, comes in white. Very good.
Okay, so quick specs: 1-inch tweeter and 3-inch woofer. Active, this is the slave side. The right side has the driver's DSP and preamp on it. It has Bluetooth 5.3 RCA. It goes down to 55 Hertz. It was originally launched as a bookshelf speaker to accompany their entry-level record players as a plug-and-play system. The best feature of all is the price. The cheapest I've seen it in Singapore is about 220 SGD. That's about 170 USD. So let me tell you how I like to use it. Main use for me is real-life B monitors. So this is just for me to check how my mixes translate to possibly what majority of listeners will have, thus the small speakers. A quick AB switch on my monitor controller, easy. Second is if I don't want to turn on the whole system here just to listen to music, you got Bluetooth. Done. Another use case for me personally is TV speakers. I tried it on my TV. I like how the music sounds on these compared to my Samsung Q990B, if I'm right. If I'm honest, if you add a small cheap subwoofer with this on the TV, you got a full solid entertainment system. I find that soundbar isn't really that great for music unless you go for a specialized one. Even on the Q990B, I'm not that big of a fan. But I like the music better listening to the SP3X with my TV. Also, did I tell you it's 220? That's crazy to me. Okay, so since this is a music tech channel of sorts, I'll talk more about studio use. If you're starting out and you're serious about mixing and getting good mixes, but your budget is a bit tight, my recommendation, not yet, get a good set of headphones. Cheapest recommendation, R50X. If you have a bit more budget, maybe the Odyssey MM100. Start with your interface as a DAC amp, then pair that with the SP3X as your monitors. Then 50-50 split mix, headphones and speakers. My thought process is you actually get better mileage for your money on headphones in terms of quality and detail retrieval versus similarly priced speakers. You still need a good monitor because physical, staging and air hit, you can't really get that on headphones. You do get the detail and clarity, but not the physical presence, if that makes sense. Also, since this is so small, your room won't really mess with your mix that much. Very minimal, if any. You can also move it around anywhere you want and use it multiple ways, whatever you want. Fantastic pair of speakers, definitely. If you're in the market for small beginner speakers, hold your horses. There's a lot of speakers out there. I checked. They cost at least double the price of these for those advertised as, small studio monitors. Before you buy any of those, I'm not saying buy this blindly just because I told you so. At least try this first. Then come back here and tell me what you think. Sound quality wise, I'll tell you this. AB back and forth against the Kali IN8, you see behind. There were a lot of instances where I have to, physically touch the speaker driver to confirm which speaker I was listening to. It's that good. Not until I intentionally look for the low end. It's just that extra low end that splits the difference. But performance-wise, really close to the IN8. It's not just me, all my other friends who demoed it gets it confused as well. So yeah, there you go. The staging is wide, even wider than the IN8. Imaging is great. I have literally no complaints. Of course, there are character differences on the mids and maybe the highs as well, but that was it. You really have to get used to it to be able to tell the difference between the two. Again, fantastic set of tiny speakers, great pricing. I don't have anything negative to say about this. I'm really serious. You have to try this. That's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching to the end. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and see you guys in the next project.